So since we're getting into this, I thought I'll tell a joke.
Yeah.
It's about the two communists.
Okay.
You know this one?
No, I don't.
So two communist friends, and one says to the other, "Hey, if you had two houses, would you give me one?" He said, "Of course. I'm a communist. We're communist. Of course I'll give you a house."
Yeah.
"Okay, if you had two cars, would you give me one?" "Why are you even asking me? We're communist. Of course I'll give you a car."
Yeah.
"If you had two chickens, would you give me one?" "No." "Why?" "You'd give me a house if you had two houses. You'd give me a car if you had two cars. Why wouldn't you give me a chicken if you had two chickens?" "Well, because I have two chickens."
Yeah, dude, that's like...
And I think this joke for me encapsulates a lot about the idealism of communism.
Yeah.
And on some levels, I guess socialism even.
Yeah, and socialism for me, I would say even for me, that's something where I'm a lot closer to and in agreement with, a robust welfare state that supports those that are less fortunate, or not just less fortunate, that supports everyone in the country. I'm reading this tremendous book on the session of one of my mentors. It's called Accelerating India's Development. And he has a wonderful analogy in the start. He says, look, in the end, a country like India, let's say it's an airplane. Take an airplane as an example. Say you have the wealthiest individuals in the country, the elites, and the middle class are, say, in the first class and business class sections of the plane. And everybody else is in economy, right? So you're enjoying, you're having a different experience on the flight. But if that flight is going down itself, if it's going to crash, it doesn't matter what seat you're in, you're all going to die, right? And he's using that analogy to say that doesn't matter if you don't actually need to avail of the state's services, if you don't need that welfare, it's good to have a state that is capable to meet the needs of development and meet the needs of its people, right? Especially in times of crisis like COVID. He was using COVID as an example. When COVID hit, it didn't matter if you're in business class or in premium economy or first class. If we were going down, we're all going down together. So you need a robust state that can provide and build that capacity,
Yeah, and look at it. If you want to look at it through self-interest rather than through altruism, maybe that's a fair utilitarian way to look at it, because the truth is, if inequality increases, there will be a breaking point. People will not stand and they will rush the gates.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a point at which people will not be able to accept the divide.
Yeah.
And it will go down. So you better, if in your own self-interest or if you're so short-sighted, just literally thinking about your next 6 months.
Correct. Think towards the future, right? How can you build a place that's more or less equitable?